Hey, I'm Caleb with You Can Make This Too. I'm about to do an epoxy pour on this coffee table, but before I do, I thought this was a great time to go over 4 different ways to estimate how much epoxy you need for a pour. So ultimately, we're trying to figure out how much to mix up in our bucket, whatever size bucket we're using, which is a fluid volume measurements. This has ounces and quarts and liters. The first way I'm going to show you to get to that will be using just linear measurements that will then convert once we get a volume. So if you remember from geometry, you need to take 3 measurements in order to calculate a volume: length, width, and height. Of course, as you can see from this table, the negative space I need to fill is really crazy. So I would have to do like area of a triangle here and fill in all these spots to get anywhere close. So this isn't a good technique for this table, but I'll go over it anyways. Let's pretend that we just had a square here. It's about 8 inches by 12 inches. 8 times 12 is 96. And I'm just under an inch. We'll round up to an inch because I'd always rather have a little bit more than not enough. So 1 inch times 96 is 96 cubic inches. We convert that to ounces. That's the amount. This would work better on something if you have a fairly straight, like a traditional river table with a big straight area that you're trying to fill. This would work pretty well and be pretty quick. The next is the most accurate, and something a few people commented on my epoxy cutting board video that are charcuterie boards, and that is to literally just fill this void with something else: rice, dry beans, sand, pea gravel, flour, sugar, just whatever you have. Fill it up and then pour it out. Pour it out, and that'll tell you exactly how much there is. Now, this is a pretty big form that would be unwieldy, and I'd need a lot of medium to fill it with. So I'm not going to go that way on this, but if you have several small forms or a really strange, funky pattern and it's not too big, that's a really good technique to use. So next is a super quick and dirty way that works if you don't mind mixing multiple batches or know you're going to be mixing multiple batches. That's just take whatever you're going to use to mix and then just lay it out and figure out about how many times you'll have to fill it. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, call that 6, 7, and call that 8. So 8 bottom layers of this. I know that my wood is about 1 inch thick, and to the top line on my bucket is 5 inches, and 3 inches, which is 2 liters, and 3 inches up is about 1 1/4 liters. So I'll need at least 1 3/4 liters. So what I do is probably start at about 1 3/4 liters. So 2 of these buckets, about a little over half full. Pour that and see where it gets me, and should be pretty close to the neighborhood. Although really what I'd probably do is fill up 1 bucket first with 2 liters, pour that out, see how it does. If it comes up at least halfway, or I'm still lacking 1 1/4 by my guesstimate, then I'd go a little less than 2 and see where it goes. If it's less than half, then you're gonna need more than 2 liters. If it's well over half, then you can just kind of, quick and dirty. It's a guesstimate. And number 4, which is a technique I used on this, is getting kind of high tech. I'm going to take a picture of this, import it into Photoshop, but I'm sure you could use GIMP or whatever photo software you have, probably even some free stuff, to figure out the ratio, the percentage of the negative space to the whole mold, and then convert that based on knowing the dimensions into the volume that I need. And I'm going to walk through that process with you real quick.
Okay, I'm no Photoshop wizard, but here's what I figured out to make this work. I imported my photo, and the first thing I'm going to do is use the polygon tool to select out just my mold here. Oh, looks like it didn't get a click the first time. Okay, now I'm going to use Control-C to copy, make a new layer, paste. Now I've isolated this. Okay, first thing I need to do is get the total area of the whole mold. So I'm going to use my magic wand tool, select the transparency, but I need the inverse, just the mold. So select inverse. Now we can use the measure tools. First I want to make sure, so select data points, custom. See, I only have area checked. I don't care about anything else. Now I can run it, record measurements. All right, and the first number, that's the area, so 5.32 million pixels. Okay. And of course, Photoshop can't give me inches or anything, just pixels, but that's okay because I'm looking at ratios. Now I'm going to use the quick selection tool to select the white space. I like this tool because it just kind of jumps and automatically figures it out. Now I'm not looking to get perfect here. I'm just trying to get in the ballpark of the area. So if it gets a little bit of wood, if I miss a little bit of white, that's okay. All right, I think I've got most of the white spaces I'm going to feel collected. Now we'll do the same thing, image analysis, record measurements, and the, oh, here's my numbers. Okay, so 973,000 pixels. All right, now a little bit of math. We'll just do 973,000 pixels divided by 5.32, I think is what went with million. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at million. Okay, 18%. Now we need to convert this to a measurement we can use. I know my mold is 24 inches by 48 inches. It's 1,152 square inches multiplied by 18%, 0.18, 207. So now I need to know how many, oh, and so that's the area. Now I need the volume. I know I'm 7/8 thick, so that's 0.825 or 0.875 for 7/8. 181, let's say 182 because I know I'm a little light. Do a quick Google, 182 inches in ounces. 100 fluid ounces. So that's where we're going to start.
So the pour went well. I ended up needing more than I estimated because this was live edge. And of course the live edge has an angle, so that was increased volume. So make sure you add to it. But anyway, this wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't give you more than I said I was going to. So here's some tips on mixing. For every batch you mix, you want to use at least 2 buckets. 1 bucket to mix in, another bucket to pour everything into. I normally skip this whenever I do my filming. So as you know, epoxy is 2 parts, a resin and hardener. I like using TotalBoat because I've had good luck with it. Talk to them, they sponsor me, sponsor this video because I like their product. Anyway, these two have to be completely and thoroughly mixed. If you do not mix the hardener completely with the resin, then you're going to have soft spots that don't cure. There's a good chance that when you pour those 2 components into the bucket and you mix it for at least 3 minutes, there's still going to be bits like on the bottom or maybe on the sides that are just resin or just hardener that didn't fully incorporate. Everything in the middle, assuming you mix long enough, is going to be mixed good. So when you pour that into another bucket, everything in this bucket's good. So the first bucket you use, just get rid of it. It's gone. Forget it ever existed. And now you can scrape every last drop you want out of this bucket and you're still going to have a good pour. Another thing is shop temperature. You want the closer to about 80 degrees, the better your resin is going to do and the quicker it's going to set up, you know, within the specs you read on the can. So I have a space heater I use because it's February to keep all this. Anyway, I had good luck, and that was 4 ways to estimate epoxy and a few extra tips on mixing. If you want to see the video on this, it's going to come out next week in first week of March 2020. So make sure you subscribe and hit notify if you want to see that or just think I earned it. Anyway, I hope you're inspired, learned something, or at least entertained. And until next time, make time to make something.